It's time for Woo Flex.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes of all teenagers, what's going on? Adam recently hilariously told us that he barely has time to watch movies when we know that's a lot of what each of his days consist of. It's certainly not playing chess. He's recently been flexing over on Instagram about some 4K editions he's got of not only his favorite movies, but movies that he is obsessed with. The first one being The Florida Project. Now, this, of course, he has done a video with the director. He has meticulously covered the filming locations like really none other. And then the trilogy that he's maybe obsessed with even a little bit more, the 4K treatment of the films of Ty West, X, Maxine, and Pearl. And I would say probably Maxine would be the one he is fixated on the most. And I think we all know, what do these four films have in common? Well, it's the Daphne connection, right? This again is trying to impress Daphne. Why the relentless need to do that, I don't know. Surely Adam is not under the impression that there's any hope there. And they have been friends and just friends for a long, long time. But Adam likes to be obsessed with things, and seemingly he is still obsessed with her. So if you want this for your very own collection, these items will run you, depending on where you get them, somewhere between $165 and $200.
Today's adventure begins. I'm in St. Cloud, Florida.
Oh no, say it ain't so. Another woo pilgrimage back to his home. I can imagine we're going to go to a lot of familiar places.
An assortment of my first retail jobs were right here. I probably worked 15 years, and then another 10 years. You know, give or take a year between the twin cities of St. Cloud and Kissimmee.
You know, I think I'm going to lose about 1 billion brain cells in this one. Give or take 1 billion.
1991, I started at a Publix just across the street that I will go over to. It's now a gym.
No, I know what you're thinking. No, not that gym, a GYM. Dune Buggy Gym, you get to take this episode off.
And I stopped working retail places when I quit the feed store in St. Cloud in 2011.
That day will remain in infamy. The end of a tremendous retail career that began and ended in St. Cloud. The feed store industry has never been the same.
But right here, in 1995, 96, 97, don't know the exact year, but mid-90s, I sat right here on this bench, well, one of these two benches.
Adam's not sure what year, and he's not sure what bench. But the important thing is, something unimportant happened here that he has told many, many, many times. The origin of the name Adam the Woo.
I would take the bus down here, get off the bus, or I would ride my bike, but most of the time I would take the bus.
Don't worry, this will not be on the test later. And of this unimportant information as a whole, this is perhaps the most trivial, the most unimportant.
And when I would take the bus home, I'm working at this Walmart. I sat right here and I came up with the completely pointless, meaningless name that I use as my stage name, Adam the Woo, right over here.
Adam bought a stamp set from Walmart. He doesn't explicitly mention that here as he has in the past. I guess he just assumes you'll know that he bought it there. It's weird that he was just out in public doing this, using this stamp set to come up with names. I've never heard him refer to it as his stage name, but that definitely plays a role in what he thinks he is, an entertainer.
I'll explain a little bit. I've explained this before, but I'll reiterate.
And reiteration is certainly the theme of this quasi walk-in talk, more a celebration, a remembrance of Woo. He is creating a whole new thing, a new 30th anniversary of the name Adam the Woo, though it might be 29 years and it might possibly even be 28. He's not sure.
Cheers to 30 years ago? 30 years ago.
Now, of course, I don't know this as a fact, but when has that ever stopped me? I would not doubt he put this buggy there to frame up this moment. See, Adam thinks all of these sites that he's going to be talking about today are holy ground. They will be part of a tour one day. He's already giving you a script. So those of you that are going to come up with a future Woo Museum, the Wooseum, take notes. Adam lays it all out for you. He gives you the important spots. We're not going to look at all of them today, but he puts it out there for you. He's such a giver, but I really think he staged this.
Sitting right here, not knowing where the inconsequential
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
of Adam the Woo would take me, or be using it for this channel, becoming a name that is synonymous with me filming myself every day.
Well, I mean, that's not quite what that means. It was the name you gave your channel. It's not synonymous with filmmaking. It's your name.
Originally, that was not the intention.
But it was the intention because it was the name you gave your channel. It was always the intention.
By the way, I'm inviting you to join me on a stroll through memory lane and a thank you. Later this month is Thanksgiving, and I have a lot to be thankful for.
So even though Adam is creating yet another anniversary that he will be observing in 2026, so the 30th anniversary of Adam the Woo itself as a brand, as a thing, the 100th anniversary of Route 66, the 250th anniversary of America. Adam is, remember, suddenly a patriot. It is not lost on me that he is not someone who clearly spells out that he is thankful. So I applaud him for doing that. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a straight out thank you to the audience. He does it numerous times in this video, and it's not lost on me that that's pretty big for him. We are definitely going to be doing some psychoanalysis in this one because Adam certainly has his own view of what 2025 has come to be. Now, everything that he wanted to happen for this channel has been happening. Again, the only person that makes Adam do anything is Adam. He was happy with the trajectory of the channel, but the 30% drop in views and revenue obviously has made him do an about face and completely change up all the plans he previously had for 2026. Now, can he own that and take this channel back to a renaissance of sorts? Of course he can. He has that ability. Will he? Well, that remains to be seen.
Really is an amazing thing, and it all started with, the access to the internet. The internet, is full of not good things.
Adam the Woo with his first friendly reminder. Remember, kids, they're trolls.
But the internet and being able to be self-employed based on what I do, and there are others who do things different than what I do.
Friendly reminder number 2, Wacko Woovians. Adam doesn't ask you for your money. Well, at least not anymore. That's part of his backstory that he would really like for you to forget.
When it comes to creating things, selling things, anything, selling things online, none of that existed.
Wait a minute, did Adam the Woo create e-commerce? I think he might have. If you were curious, when the first e-commerce transaction, the first encrypted end-to-end transaction took place, August the 11th, 1994, a man by the name of Phil Brandenburger of Philadelphia bought a Sting CD. It was not, however, until Adam the Woo became a thing sometime around 2010 that the internet would finally be safe. Well, I think that's what Adam is saying.
1995, no cell phones, couldn't go on your computer.
I mean, there were, and you could, but I get what you're saying, Adam. You're saying it wasn't as easy as it is today, but I also don't really understand why you're backing up to 1995 to the supposed creation of the Adam the Woo name. You would continue to work into 2011. So Adam wasn't looking to start anything outside of a retail career until then, unless what he's trying to say is if things had been as easy as they were today, Adam the Woo could have gotten started even earlier. I'm assuming that's what he's going for.
Computer and someone saying something.
You know, as a living, breathing advertisement for Starbucks, Adam really should get a commission. I'm just saying. Now, the reason I paused here is because you're going to hear something pretty rare. Adam's actual voice. What we hear in these explainer videos, in these wooisms, this Mr. Rogers of the internet, if you will, is the kinder, gentler, woo-tastic voice. But now we're going to hear Adam's actual speaking voice, if only for a little bit.
Starbucks is right over there, right across the street in that other parking lot. No problem. Join me. Thank you. Shall you? And I believe that was the third retail job working grocery that I had, just in this little tri-road area.
Adam loves to take these trips down memory lane, not only because it's an easy video, and this was an easy video for him that has done quite well. It was around 70,000 views last time I checked. For him just to reminisce for a half hour. Something he loves to do anyway. But he likes to juxtaposition himself from then to now, just to feel even better about his standing, all that he's accomplished. Adam needs to be constantly bombarded with that positive reinforcement, mainly just from himself. Again, that's the purpose of this channel. It's a video diary for him to remember all these things and to just bask in that adulation. Adam gives his complete retail work history for easily the 10th, maybe 15th time in every minute detail.
And on and on and on. Office Max in Kissimmee for 5 years.
He's still at it. Adam, we get it. We get it. You worked a lot of retail. Can anyone imagine leading a tour of your past places of employment that is, yes, going out to an audience, but mainly this is for him? Now, I know many of us have probably pointed out to maybe one of your children, a family member, a spouse, a friend, somewhere you might have worked, but to this extent?
For any products were in the store, there was not one thing on the shelves. In fact, when I first walked in as a new hire going from the other Walmart to this one, and the changeover, there was nothing in this building, not even shelving. We walked in the door, there was a group of like 20 or 30 of us that walked in, and you could see all the way to the back.
Folks, I've lost all concept of time. Where are we? What year is it? Adam keeps going on and on and on. What were we even talking about? Oh yeah, the Adam the Woo name.
I was sitting there, kind of bored, waiting for the Lynx bus to arrive to take me up into Kissimmee to Simpson Road to my Simpson Ridge apartment.
Simpson Ridge Apartments. Homestead, a little small place I had up there.
And I bought a stamp set. There was a stamp set. You would flip it open. Took some.
As you can imagine, folks, this goes on forever. Adam was playing around with some aliases. Came up with Adam the Woo via this stamp set that he had bought at Walmart. He was using an alias to sign up for band merchandise through the mail. Information about the band, swag that they would give out, tour dates, etc. Why was he using an alias?
Don't know.
Late teens, early 20s Adam the Woo thought that would be cool.
So I came up with a couple of kind of wacky names. Adam the something. And then I just put WOO. I thought Adam the Woo. Put my address in for my Simpson Ridge Apartments. And that was the stamp pack.
The whole purpose of all of this was to just say thank you to the audience. That started all this nonsense.
But I would also use it when I would mail off to bands for free stickers and pins and things like that.
That I did find interesting because that really sets the stage for why Adam assumes that people want stickers, they want pins, they want other various types of swag sent to them with Adam's logo, likeness, name, etc. on it. Because that's what Adam the Woo wanted from the bands that he followed. Adam goes on and on and on a whole nother long diatribe about the fact that he used the Adam the Woo name all across the internet. MySpace, he used it on eBay, he then used it on YouTube. Their story told, save you a lot of time.
And that's the explanation. Let's get on with today. I'm reiterating that, but I know some people don't know.
Adam, half a dozen elder Woovians have shuffled off this mortal coil in the time it took for you to go through that.
Let's get going. The name just kind of popped up by accident with no real rhyme or reason to any of it. It's hard to believe that, next year, this year or next year, give or take a year, it'll be 30 years ago.
Adam has went through all of this already. Now, again, as this messianic cult-like figure, Adam has got to give these mantras for the Woovians to recite at home. 30 years, Adam the Woo, stamp set.
It's just how someone is known as.
Remember, folks, this is a conversation with Elder Future Woo. Just him having a chat with himself. And then he drifts right back into his retail work history.
Many times I worked overnight, so, I'd show up at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. I should say. Park in the parking lot at 9:50, go in, clock in at 10. I'd work till 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, sometimes later than that, depending on when the store was done being stocked. There was no 8-hour you clock, because you weren't helping customers. You didn't have like a shift, an official shift.
Yep, for anybody out there that's ever worked third shift, if you're having to stay past your normal allotted time, that means that the store didn't get stocked on time. And if that happens enough, heads are going to roll. But Adam is reminding everybody, he was once one of you. He sat somewhere in this parking lot and said, I don't want to keep doing this. And he kept doing it for 10 plus more years.
But as far as an official job, that was it.
So he's talking about the Publix was his first job. And I would love to meet the Woovian, not for long, maybe just for a few seconds, who ate up every second of this. Adam talks about the parking area where he used to park. Do you remember where you parked for any of your other jobs? Remember, Adam told us in a past video that wherever you parked, that was just where you were going to be forever. You never assumed you would leave. He did a lot of assuming with each new retail job that he joined. But Adam talks about his car breaking down and, again, where he was then versus where he is now. And if he could have went back and told old Adam, just hold on. Just think about where you're going to be.
Whenever I reminisce about stuff like this, it really kind of hits you hard on where you came from, where you are now, the thought process. It's easier to wrap your head around it and really visualize it when you go back and visit places like this.
I don't know if there's ever been anybody more in love with themselves or more in awe of himself than Adam. This is crazy, crazy behavior. He goes on to talk about, it's a lot easier to get started on the internet now versus when he did it. And then he says something interesting that he contradicts not long after.
So I probably would have found something other to do. It's also wild to think that up until I quit the feed store in 2011, 20 years of working retail, I was just barely getting by. I know that sounds insane when you say it out loud, but until I quit working a traditional style job, I was always struggling.
Always struggling.
Well, no, I think that makes perfect sense, Adam. We've all been there. Some of us may still be there. You work in a low-paying job, then you try to parlay that into something better, be it rising up through the ranks where you are, going to a different job, and you hope to do better. That's always the hope for everybody. We get it. Lots of people live paycheck to paycheck, and they do that for their entire life. Now Adam does this bizarre pause, which he does a few times in this video, I think to give Woovians time to grab a tissue. So dramatic, right? That reminds me of the international travels where he said, you know, these people probably never imagined it would be a museum.
And I think a lot of that has to do with when I started doing what I'm doing. Because there was not a lot of people really doing it.
True. When he started, YouTube had only been around about 5 years. And he didn't start a genre, but he certainly furthered the adventuring, the abandoned, the filming locations. He was one of the first to really perfect it. And nobody will ever take that away from him.
And so many people were watching, supporting each day by tuning in, even though the numbers were very small, started to creep up, started to give me a little income based on the ads, on the views, and all that. I've explained how all that works.
So just a reminder, we're well into Adam again reinventing his backstory. So the backstory now he's telling is that he got started. Very few people were doing it. He was just kind of lucky to be in right time, right place, put out videos. Slowly but surely they built an audience, and through ad revenue, he started earning an income. Cut to today and all the success he's had. He leaves out the t-shirt sales. He leaves out the Patreon, which played a huge role in his life. He leaves out fueling the woo. In every one of those early videos, he would ask for help in getting further down the road. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong. A lot of channels, that's how they get started. That's how H3H3, Patreon, played a huge role in them being able to be a channel, get to where they could be self-sustaining. So I'm not bagging on him for that. I am questioning why he wants to act like that didn't happen.
So anyone that's been around all this time, or anyone that's just stumbled on this channel, you know, even in the last year, or even 6 months, or even if this is your first time even tuning in, thank you. Because without anyone watching, probably be across the street over there, where the Winn-Dixie was, probably working at Staples.
So this is that point I was talking about where he contradicted himself earlier. He said that he would have went into something else. Even if it wasn't YouTube, he would have found something else other than retail. And now he's saying he would have stayed in retail. So which is it, Adam? But I guess the important thing is he thanked the audience. So take a bow, everybody. And Adam's going to give you another moment of silence.
Got to be other people out there that might be into that. And it slowly trickled in. People found the videos, and it was the first creative thing I ever did in my life that I didn't have to approach anyone about.
Adam talked about when in a band you'd have to hand out flyers, strong-arm people to get them to the show, but now he didn't have to have that interaction, could put out these videos, they could find an audience. He loved it.
And that just blew my mind. And that's why it resonated with me on that's what I needed to be doing. And that's why I'm still doing it to this day.
Well, I mean, the $500,000 home in celebration, the DVC membership, the glorified golf carts, that's the reason you're still doing it. But the other probably helps too.
Apartment was one of two. So the door was right there. You'd go up.
And the prison tats guide the way to yet another stop on the Woo History Tour. And he truly thinks this will be a tour bus stop one of these days in the future, maybe the very near future. Adam shows this with the gusto he would a filming location because it has that importance. He has shown this old apartment time after time after time. St. Cloud used to be the annual pilgrimage where all the Wu faithful, the original Wuvians, would join him to regale in his stories and have pizza and just walk these streets reminiscing about what was. I did find one part interesting, even though Adam has said this numerous times before, but to be reminded that he did a dry run of staying in the van here. He decided he would sleep overnight in the van to see if he could do it. That allowed him to live out of his van for a little while to be able to pay off some bills.
Then I quit my job on August 9th, 2011, one day before my birthday. And that everything escalated from there. I feel like the last few years have been kind of an interesting mishmash.
The weirs, the wooisms are even starting to scramble Adam's brain. The weirs of the woo.
Of the things I've been doing. And I talked about this a couple weeks ago. But I really want to kind of throw it back old school. And really, really excited about 2026 and doing U.S. travels and small towns and road trips and back road stuff and history. 250th anniversary of America, the 100th anniversary of Route 66. I'd also like to attempt to do US 1 from Key West to Maine. I'd also like to attempt to do Lincoln Highway in its entirety. From New York, I believe it is, to San Francisco.
And yes, of course, the latest reinvention. We know that this is not what Adam wanted to do in 2026. He does not find what he has been doing over the last few years to have been weird or a mishmash or getting off track. He didn't think that then. He doesn't think that now. But he knows that there has to be a change. He cannot continue to have this dip in revenue. Can he survive off of 30 to 50,000? Absolutely. Can he live the lifestyle he wants to live? No.
It's time for Woo Flex.
I have been to all 50 states, the 48 continental, and also Alaska and Hawaii, but it's time. It's been years. But I think 2026 is really going to be a throwback mentally for myself and also as far as the content that's going out there. So thanks for bearing with me. I really appreciate anyone that's stuck around all these years.
Ah, yes, the mental reset. Adam thinks this is what the channel needs. He's always thought that for 2026. Well, no, 2026 was going to be the year of celebrating Adam and celebrating that 30th anniversary and doing the meet and greets. Before that, these past few years, again, have been a celebration of Adam. Him doing the August to December things that he likes to do. The haunts, staying for an abundance of time in LA. These are things that Adam likes doing. He doesn't view that as a mistake. He just knows he can't do it as much anymore.
I think I lost track of that. I think I really lost track of that over the last few years.
Now, don't get me wrong. Is there a possibility that 2026 could be the greatest year Adam has ever had on YouTube? Absolutely. Now, it's going to be hard. A lot of that audience has left, but he can recoup some of that. He can go back to the things that people used to really love from him on this channel. Will he do it? That's the biggest question. But to say that he's not capable of greater things, that he doesn't have talent or charisma, that's silly. You know, that's being as devoid of logic as the Wuvians are. Nobody should be saying that. He earned what he got. But is he willing to continue to take care of the fans, to placate them, and to put aside his wants and desires? That's the real question. Now, this is hilarious to me. Sometimes Adam goes up to a building. He thinks, you know, if I have something to read, I can turn this into gold. Well, sometimes, but not always.
Look at this. It's like a hand with a rag right there. The extra touch. Pro auto detail. Pretty neat.
What was neat about it exactly, Adam? It kind of looks like to me someone's like roasted a rat or something. And of course the American flag, folks. Remember, Adam is a patriot. first and foremost. Now, you may have forgotten that over the years because he's never really shown that. But 250th anniversary of America? Ha ha! Watch out, Adam the Woo. He's as America as apple pie.
Now, obviously, I'm not going to go back to sleeping in a van full time.
It's time for Woo Flex.
Because I do have the house. But my plan is to stay in, little local motels.
So I'm confused. Owning a home prevents you from staying in your van, but you can stay in local hotels. Okay.
To get across the country and just focus on small town life, tell some stories.
I wish him well.
To stay in,
but he's
little
already
local motels.
Promised so many things for
maybe
26
stay a day or two
before it's even got started.
In small town
Number
areas.
One, that I highly doubt he'll be able to do,
the next region,
is that he starts the road trips on January the 1st. But again,
just focus on small town
gonna
life,
root
tell
for
some
him.
stories.
I hope everybody is
people.
successful and is happy. I think Adam's biting off more than he can chew. He can't do all these specific routes.
Yeah, there's my
spend
place.
time at certain events. There's a lot of events he's still going to do. But also
no,
spend
it's a
time in
barber.
small
There's a
town
barber
America,
shop.
not get in a hurry.
No, there is a barber shop.
I don't know how this is all going to work.
There's a barber pole before moving off to the next region. Not be in such a rush to get across the country. And just focus on small town life. Tell some stories. Talk to some people. And just kind of take it back. That's my goal.
And of course, Adam's got to give this sense of that this was taken from him, that someone forced him to do anything. Adam hasn't been forced to do anything in decades now. It's all been him. It's all been him choosing what he wanted to do. I do like the fact, too, that he's starting to slowly move away from the, hey, you want to meet up with me and do adventures? He started into that. I think he got flooded with messages from people. So that's maybe not off the table. He's still going to try and do that because Adam's not going to want to research. So if he can come to your neck of the woods and you can give him the grand tour key to the city, that's ideal.
What a fun ride it's been. Over 15 years. Started at the beginning of 2010, and again, this vlog channel in 2012, which is, I always refer to this as a video diary of sorts, where I just put stuff out there and I can look back on it, other people can watch and enjoy.
So reminder, Woovians and naysayers alike, this is a daily vlog channel, a daily diary for Adam first and foremost. And then people can enjoy what Adam is enjoying looking back on and doing. Don't have any other expectations of him outside of that. At least that's what he wants you to think.
But also like a history of myself and places I've gone. Yes, I have sat and stood here many, many times. Done some thinking, done some reminiscing. Today is no exception, especially when I used to live right over there at the apartment I just showed.
All I can say, Woovians, is a reminder, you will never be the greatest fan of Adam the Woo. That belongs to Adam the Woo.
And in the continuation of my travels, and whatever happens at 26 onward, we're taking it back again to my original roots and all that. Still not going to have merch, still not going to need crowdfunding.
Again, trying to establish a new history of where he never needed those things. They played an important role in his channel, sustained it for many years, those other revenue streams. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to try and act like that was not a part of his history is just silly. And of course, the reason it was cut off and remains cut off is because he believes that if there are none of those sources available, if he isn't asking you, quote unquote, for anything other than you to view, then you have no say in what he does. He owes you nothing.
Still not going to request anything from anyone.
It's time for Woo Flex.
I'm way past that point of needing any kind of monetary help. Doing just fine with how things are working out. But I also want to show my appreciation for anyone over all this time has always been tuning in, leaving positive comments, spreading goodness out there, the circle of goodness, which I have always referred to it as, but I've almost, well, not almost, but I have rarely mentioned that phrase anymore, which I probably should bring that back. Probably should.
Interesting. The circle of goodness. That is a throwback. And for those of you that have never heard him say that phrase, it took on an infamous moniker. And that was really the reason he abandoned it, because there became these pro-Adam trolls that would dox and threaten. They were this circle of goodness gang in a way. So it's interesting that he's talking about reusing that phrase, bringing it back.
I feel like the last few years have been a kind of a wacky time period. And I've always done Disney. I've always done conventions. The international stuff, even though I am doing a couple more countries, I do enjoy doing it.
Oh yeah, you totally enjoyed doing it. We were there for it, Adam. We know you hated every second of international, except for maybe England, your second home. And the only thing strange for Adam over the last few years has not been the content that he put out. He's had a ball. He has loved himself. All these trips to Los Angeles, all the Back to the Future stuff, this is what he wants to do. The abnormality has been that the views haven't followed. He's even done several videos where he lamented that fact. These haunt videos, they used to get hundreds of thousands of views. What gives, Woovians?
But man, I love getting in a car, going across the U.S. And that is getting me so excited to bring it back. So just want to show my appreciation and verbalize my appreciation to everyone that takes the time out of their day, their weeks, their months, or heck, even their years of tuning in. I know people are busy. I'm busy. It's hard for me to even sit down and watch a movie half the time.
What? Barely have time to watch a movie. Even the Urkel doll doesn't believe that. You easily, Adam, watch half a dozen movies a week. Sometimes you'll do that in a weekend. Do you know that there are many working people in this country that might see 4 to 5 movies a year? And that's an amazing thing. Get out of here with that.
Because I'm so, busy doing this, doing other things, and whatnot. So I understand that time is a valuable commodity to a lot of people.
That's really quite funny. Can't even within the confines of his thank you, can't stay on topic without reminding the peasants that Adam is so busy. He gets what it's like for you folks. He gets it even more so. He's far busier than you could ever imagine, but still, thanks.
And the fact that you are taking time out of your day to listen to what I'm saying right now, it really does mean a lot to me, so thank you.
Well, folks, thanks so much for spending your time with me. I appreciate you. I had originally intended to do the back half of this video to be Tampa J, Carpetbagger, a few other things involved as well. I think now that's going to be its own separate video, so this one doesn't get just too large and too crazy. But we'll have another video out tomorrow, Sunday. So you're seeing this today, Saturday. I'm doing this in the moment. I'm finishing this video up, and you should see it hopefully within an hour, so sometime before noon today, hopefully. I had intended for this video to have been yesterday, but, work, it gets in the way of the hobby, right? I appreciate each and every one of you so much. I anticipate this will be the last major walk and talk until probably after International, gearing people up for the road trip to start. Will Adam have any flight delays as we go through the government shutdown? Will it be fixed by then? We'll just have to wait and see. Will Adam actually follow through with International? That's a question in and of itself. And I also want to say hello to our 2 newest channel members, Craig Fordham and Timberly22. Thank you so much for being here. 85 channel members. Wow. Would have never imagined that. Never imagined we'd have the first 1 or 2 channel members, much less 85. Thank you so much. allows us to do so much for charity, and it's nice to see what we give to charity just keep increasing every single month. That is awesome. I'll see you back here tomorrow with another non-Adam vlogger video, so Tampa J, etc. And then on Monday, the plan is to have a non-vlogger video. Also working on that Ethan's Adventures video that I had teased before. Still working on it. Just doing proper research. A lot of accusations that you have to make sure are correct. I want it to be a video really unlike others that I have done. Certainly a new subject matter. Not going to be a normal part of the rotation or anything, but it's going to be pretty comprehensive and pretty shocking. So taking my time on that one. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. I've been Aaron with Passing Through Productions. You've been passing through with me, and I greatly appreciate it. Hope you have a great Saturday. I'm going to go out now with family, and then I'll come back later tonight and start working on tomorrow's video. Thank you so much.